Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make a homemade tattoo machine, otherwise known as like a prison tattoo machine. So literally all you need to do this is an old spoon, a bit of paper towel, a beard trimmer motor. They always tend to work the best because a lot of beard trimmer motors are connected to a battery pack. Now, if the one you have isn't connected to a battery pack, you could solder on onto a 9-volt battery, something like that, or you could even run 2 wires off it and just connect one battery up to it. Obviously, the more power you can get to it, the better. But normally, like a 9-volt battery is about the most you can take it up to. I got a grommet to go on the machine to hold the needle in place, to go in the eye of the needle. Biro pen or any pen like that. Needle nose pliers, tape, and some nail clippers. I'd like to give a shout out to my mate Gary, who owns a channel called Garage E36. If you're into your BMWs, car maintenance or anything like that, he's the one who gave me the old beard trimmer. So if you want to check out his channel, I'll leave it in the description down below. Right, so to start off with, obviously to speed things up and make it easier for you to view, I've already snapped the head off the spoon. Then grab the needle nose pliers, and I've already bent this already into the angle. So literally bend it at the top of the spoon where you hold, bend it into an angle like that with the needle nose pliers. So that's where your motor will sit on. Just move that out of the way. So grab your motor. Now the motors themselves can sit in a couple of different positions, but what you want to try and do is set it so if obviously the pen is going to sit around by there, which the needle's going to go through, you may have to change the position of this a few times, but I've got a couple of bits of tape already cut, again, to make it easier for you to view. Plus sometimes if you've got a couple of bits of tape cut, it makes it easier to try and get it onto the machine, because it's quite hard to try and tape it on when you're using the tape. I'll grab a bit more tape just to make it a bit stronger. Now you don't want to make it too tight because you may have to move the position of the motor when you put the needle on. And I grab the battery pack and flip that around and I tape that into place. Now the good thing with these ones, because it's out of a beard trimmer, it comes with an on and off switch already onto the actual batteries, which makes it easier. So I'm just going to get that taped over into place. There you go, like that. Now I think I'm going to have to move this back slightly. It's going to be in the way of the needle a bit. Like so. And then let's check that's still working fine, yeah. Now what we want to do now is grab your biro pen, take the head off it, take the ink chamber out, and grab your pen here, pop your head back on there. Now this is quite an awkward bit to try and get the position of this right. So the easiest way to do it is grab your needle, tattoo needle, thread that through, pop it on the end of the motor, and then you can work out the position of how far the needle needs to go. Because obviously when it's coming out the machine there, when it's coming out the end of the pen, the needle only needs to stick out a tiny little bit. Now obviously tattooing should only be done by professionals. Literally this machine, I'm just making this to show you and to do a bit of practicing on Fakeskin with the machine. So grab a bit of tape, stick it around the bottom just to hold that in position. And then just grab a bit more tape and put it around the top. So again, try and hold it in position as best as possible. Get it nice and tight. Now what you want to do then is grab your ink chamber and the very end of the pen where the ball point is, grab your nail clippers really tight and then snip that ball point off. Snip it off completely. As you can see, I've already done one here where I've snipped it off already, just to make it this quick and easier with video for you. And what you'd want to do then is this piece that's on the end of the pen, which hasn't got any ink in, snip that off and then push the bottom of the pen back onto there, which I've already done on here. That's where your needle will go through, and that holds it in a more straighter position then. And what you want to do as well is probably sand the end of that off so there's no sharp edges, and also sand the end of here off so there's no sharp edges as well. So if I grab my needle, what we want to do is pop that through there, pop the end of this off to make it easier. Slide your needle through. Now what you want to do, obviously you want to be careful with the needle head. You don't damage the needle at all. Just pop that back through there. Pop that through there and then pop your needle through the metal bit. Yeah, if I pop that through there, it'd be easier. So yeah, slide your needle through there. Pop your head that back on, tighten that up so it sits in there like that. And then what you want to do is grab your grommet, pop that on the end of the machine. Now you can use a couple of different things. If the end of your motor hasn't got a thing like this, sometimes what you've got to do is get an old button, stick that on there. Now obviously in prison they don't have needles like this. They normally make needles out of like the spring of an end off a fire lighter, and then or they get an old guitar string and straighten that out and put it on. But obviously with this we've got a tattoo needle, which is easier. So if I pop the end of that onto there, over the eye of the needle there. Now my pen position needs to change a bit, so I need to push that up slightly. That's a good thing of leaving a little bit of slack on the tape, just so you can push that up slightly. And then what I want to do is pop that back over. Now I'm going to need to move. What you want to do is get your motor, so your motor is sitting over like that, so it's going to hold the needle in position so don't pop off obviously when you're using the machine. So if we just knock that on there like that, obviously your machine working. I can see there my pen needs to come down a bit more. That's it. Now if you've got more time and you want to try what is easier sometimes, if you get your ink chamber and you're able to get all the ink out of that, and you want to get out as much of it as possible, because obviously the ink in here is dangerous. You don't want any of that going into someone's skin or whatever. So if you can get all the ink out of that, then you can run that all the way up to the top. Will hold your needle in place even better then. Obviously with this one I've just done it quickly just to be able to show you. So there you go, is quick and easy video how to make a homemade tattoo machine. If you want to check out any of my other tattoo videos, I've got quite a few on the channel. How to set up a tattoo machine, tune a tattoo machine, tattoo kit and everything. Check them out, and thank you very much. Ta-ra.